And we are on to the Rift. Once again, it's going to be Singapore versus Thailand for our next game in the Asian Games. I'm Pulse. I'm still with Raz. How you doing, Raz?
I'm doing well. I mean, this time around, we're focusing towards the Southeast Asian part. East Asia earlier on. So it's going to be interesting to see what these players can do for themselves. Singapore versus Thailand is going to be real fun to see.
Yes, it will. A lot of these players are going to be unknown to a lot of the Western audience, so we're glad to get these guys on the board for you. I'm going to see Puppy in the mid lane here on Karma. And we're actually just going full line this grid. Did you see how rehearsed that was? Everyone just instantly went to their places.
I know there's always a discussion of when the game really starts. Some people say, you know what, early game, level 1s happen, game starts at 0 seconds. For these players now, 1:30. You know what?
Yeah.
Everyone just stand still until the lane minions start coming through.
Yep.
Don't even move. I'm looking at you too.
This is unreal cordial. I don't think I've seen a game like this maybe in like a year or two when lines of scrimmage were a thing.
And look at this. The reality of it is I would much rather see Singapore move forward just because of that. Gold is actually being picked up on Ciela for that one Q. So Ciela got that Q for himself, sack a gold for himself. He can move forward. They have enough poke that they can actually go for a level 1 and get a ward on towards red buff. So, I mean, that's what they're not going to do. But just throwing vibes their way, please.
Nice little ward there from Revive. He's also going to be with the Beekeeper skin, Beekeeper Singe skins, so big fan of that one. And then see Singapore actually look for the invade here. Krat is going to be leading the charge as Cold Feet places down the hail of arrows. This should be at the very least a reset, though it does look like Sek is still trying to kill the red buff, even though Kralix is right around the corner. Krat and Sailor looking to push it back with Jess.
Yeah, and they can do this. The only thing that Thailand can do here is reset the buff, get close enough.
Can we smite? No. Kralix gets this one, moves back towards the bottom side. No, he's decided he's going to take it up. He's going to go left. And he's actually going to go towards the Raptors. He thinks he's the alpha right here. I don't know about this one, Raz.
Realistically, you shouldn't do this. It's not like the Camille is going to be doing Raptors herself. So all you're really doing is pulling Karma away. So I guess you're just going to try for this experience buff.
He is full committing to this one. He's level 2, Sek is level 1. He knows that in a 1 versus 1 he straight up wins. I mean, this Raptor is about to reset, but Sek, you can't do this. You can't win unless Raven doesn't rotate first, but Puppy just did not come.
Thankfully, Raven did get the push in the way at first, so he actually was consistently pushing that out. 12 CS under his name, so he can protect Tralix and all this. So at least the coordination is there. He gets the camp for himself, and it forces Sek to the opposite side of the map.
He's going to go on his blue buff, and maybe he looks for the double buff right here, but he has lost so much time, so much experience, and so much health out from this initial level 1. There's a part of me that if he didn't have Smite there, right, probably we would have died. So now he's going to go onto this Crab. But I think that Kralix is looking towards the bottom side of the map. Indeed, he is. So he should be safe for now.
And here's the thing about this. Camille comes back into the meta as a jungler. Really early on in the spring split, she was there, but her problems came through the fact that she would go through the camps and would not be able to do Raptors, would not be able to do Krugs, and a lot of the Skarner picks coming through these level 4 clear junglers like Olaf can be able to do that with ease. Sek is going to try for her.
Looking for the dive, lands the damage, here's the first blood, but can he get out in time? Last tower shot, are you kidding me? That is almost unfair. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade.
I mean, look, dog, if you wanted to get away from that, flash out of that. He had flash, he didn't use it, he thought he was just out of range, and that was the problem with it. So ultimately, he could have done it to play it safe, and he allowed Revive to trade the kill.
Yeah, you're right, but I think I would say like a good 80% of the League of Legends player base would have made the same decision there, would have walked away and be like, there's no way this tower is going to hit me 3 times.
I don't know about that. Korean players would flash out. I'm just putting that out there.
That's true.
The man was gambling on stage, all right?
That's fair, that's fair. But Sek's going to move back towards the top lane and maybe look to put another kill down onto this Singe. Will be jumping after, finds the lead as well. Revive heading back towards his tower. Great Mega Adhesive will stop himself from dying, but he's A, pushed out of lane, B, doesn't have teleport, and C, doesn't have flash.
And it's hell of annoying. I mean, I already alluded to the fact that Camille's coming back into play because of the jungle shakeup. Level 2 just can gank frequently. Was level 3 here, but first gank worked out. You only needed that one camp for yourself, get Scuttle Crab, move top lane, and it's just that easy. Camille, when she has a lot of mid lane gank opportunities as well. She can actually look for Zoe level 2 if she expends flash, and she still has flash here. So that opportunity is still there, and it makes it so much easier. She can just do camps easily too, because we already talked about Scuttle Crab. Gets you the experience. You don't take any damage from that thing.
Kralix moving towards mid lane. Good trophy comes up, and Puppey should be able to walk away from this one. Of course, he's not going to be scratch free.
Oh!
What a damage out from Raven. Last auto attack,
Nah,
and he ignite. Tick, tick. See you later. That's going to be a kill in the mid lane.
And look at the wave you're going to be losing off of that one. Puppey doesn't have TP either, so she's going to come back into the lane, losing this wave, and going to be behind on the next one. So really sharp play coming out of Raven and Kralix.
Did not expect that damage to coming through there, but of course I just underestimated the damage from an early game. Paddle start out from Zoe, who is level 5 as well. So that's going to definitely sting in the mid lane there for Puppey. And Sek was also hovering around the mid lane, but he has no mid laner. So he's going to head into the enemy jungle of Singapore, but there is only one camp available, and that is the Krug. So maybe he looks to loop around and look for another dive onto Revive.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I was always worried about the synergy coming in from a lot of these players. So far from Warlock and Sek, it's been strong. Revive is pretty healthy here. I actually think this is going to be really tough to pull off, especially since Singe can take whoever's tanking the tower first and can flip him back into range. So I don't know if Sek wants to go through this.
Yeah, Sek actually decides to move on to the Krug camp right here, but he's going to be spotted by Kralix. Uses the trophy to hook shot away. I like that. And Kralix will actually just take the rest of his camp. So say thank you very much for the leash there, Camille. I'll be continuing everything from here.
Yeah, back to my earlier point about team synergy, I was wondering if Kralix and Raven could get it going together, because Kralix and Raven are on 2 different teams. The synergy from Singapore comes through the fact that Revive, Raven, and Sayla have been on in the same team in Resurgence. So that synergy is down packed. It seems like Raven and Kralix have been working so well together here.
They definitely have. And I think the recurring trend that we're actually seeing from a lot of teams is that I'm seeing these cross-team teams work very well, you know. Earlier today, we actually saw that, like, China, which is RNG plus Shia, was actually working very well. And likewise, so was Hong Kong. So it's actually really interesting to see these teams come together. A lot of preparation has gone into Asian Games, of course. And Sek will be taking away this bottom crab. Nice sidestep as well from Sailor's Mystic Shot, just gaining control over the bottom side. So for now, just a slight advantage over to the Singaporean squad.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, the advantage is there gold-wise holistically, but this Singe has a lot of problems. 62 CS to 15.
Ooh.
He's getting blasted currently. So, sure, earlier on, he was getting pushed to his own tower. Sek has been consistently in this top side of the map, but now it's good enough that the double longsword from Jace is just going to be able to chip at Revive.
Yeah, I definitely didn't look at that. Now that I have, I almost want to unsee it, because that is painful in the top lane. No summoners, no farm, and no Singe because he's gone back to base. This is a run-away top lane. For Warlock, Puppey almost getting tagged by its Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
It's already just a tough matchup as is for a Singe in this lane. Raven's going to get caught up a little bit.
A bit of damage here. Yeah, Kralix is here as well, so Sek is going to instantly back away, though Raven takes the scary way back into lane. Flash forward from Puppey. He's going to get locked down. Last auto attack, that's the kill. Kralix finds a return. Now he's able to chase down Sek, but he has the hook shot back. Kralix with no flash.
I don't know why Kralix left to go to his Raptors when Raven still wasn't in position to leave the damn lane. Maybe he thought that Raven had flash in that scenario, but he has Hex Flash, used it earlier, so he's not going to leave the pressure that Sek was already on him. So that's just miscommunication between the two, when we already talked about the communication earlier being good.
Yeah, and you can't really blame it on either. If you are going to blame, you blame both, because Raven moved towards the mid lane by himself, but at the same time, you're right, Kralix probably shouldn't have left, you know, so definitely don't go the scary route, and in the end that will turn into a 1-for-1. That was a return kill, but it never should have been there in the first place.
Yeah, at the very least he gets it back. He has to use his flash for it, so still unfortunate in that regard, but Kralix still has golden with him. Can start to pressure topside a little bit just to keep Revive alive. Right now he's gotten the 23rd CS for himself. It's always good to keep track of top lane, because one thing that Revive does not want to do is try and CS underneath towers. Singe CSing under tower is painful as hell. There's not a lot of abilities that can allow you to do that. So CS under tower, just because Sek is constantly looking for this lane, does not want that to happen. That being said, Trundle's the bottom side of the map, so he's going to have to try and make it happen.
I mean, we're under no illusion that this is already a bad matchup, and the fact that Camille has been committing so hard to top lane is what has equaled this massive advantage in the top side. But if I'm being honest, if I'm looking at how much gold Revive has, he probably has enough to maybe complete his boots right now. He's looking for a solo kill there from Warlock, but this is perhaps a mistake. Here comes Sek to try and finish him off. Flash out from Revive, but the ultimatum is going to be complete because Revive is a dead man. Another kill over to Sek.
Yeah, you know what? Warlock just wanted to get the kill. He knew that his jungler was nearby. Puppey.
Whew.
All right, you know what?
Sub 10 HP.
Yep.
Not even close.
He's good. But while he's kept alive, Revive is the one that died up in the top side of the map. So good play from Warlock. A sec, wait a second!
There we go! Wrong place to be recalling, friends. Snipe out from Sailor in the bottom
He
lane.
was probably pressing back to, or at least checking his buy list. He was trying to see what he could buy at that time, finally gets the tier for himself and realized, you know what, maybe I should base first, then buy the tier.
Never window shop.
I don't have to window shop before I do so, so really, a good shot coming in from Sailor to get the kill.
0-3 in the mid lane, not having a good time, but likewise in the top lane, Revive wishing that the Summoner was still in the game because he's 1 and 2, has 30 farm, and Warlock is essentially unlocked. If he wants to go back top lane, he can do that, but more than likely, we're going to see some pressure from the Thailand squad to move towards that Rift Herald.
Yeah, they can get the Rift Herald. They're starting to clear towards this dragon. I like the fact that Kralik killed the ward because that's forcing Singapore to really start to pile more wards in the area, or at least it's forcing Thailand to pile more wards in the area. Oh, okay.
So Kralik, he doesn't have the ultimatum, but he is actually just straight up soloing him right now. There's the sweep, but Raven finds the return kill, gets some vengeance right there as Puppey turns up to the play. It's going to be a 1-for-1 as Revive is being pushed up in the top lane. Warlock is hunting. Warlock is hungry. He's going to get that final slam down. He's looking to chase down Revive once again. Lines up the shot, takes down the kill.
It's getting painful for Revive, and I mean, Kralik was doing a good enough job at trying to trade sides in the map, but it doesn't happen if you get caught out there. So 2 kills in favor of Thailand, only having to drop 1 player for it all. I'm liking Thailand's chances just based off of that top side pressure and the fact that they're trying to recoup the cost on the side of the mid lane.
I mean, frankly, at this point in time, it's just like who can stop the solo lane from feeding harder, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're looking at top lane 1 and 3, you're looking at mid lane 1 and 3, but it's the farm that's really opening it up, and the fact that Warlock is so strong right now, though you look towards Team Singapore and you're like, well, Raven is also scary. 2-1 on the Zoe, has the blasting wand, also looking at the last chapter. This guy is starting to spike very soon as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a Monka-esque experience when you look in your solo queue games and 2 members are just looking to snowball. You're right about Raven and Warlock doing just that. Warlock's getting caught out here because Trundle is looking for the game.
Good thundering blow. That's going to buy some time out for the teleport, but Kralik will get the lockdown flip in from Revive, but Puppey is going to get that shield down into Warlock, and they're turning this one around. The fact they are zoning away Revive. Puppey, he's getting wailed on by Kralik. He might be able to find a 1-on-2 kill, and indeed he does. Looking for this one. Warlock, he's out of mana, he's out of health, and Revive is still alive. Here comes Sek, though, the return around kill, but the flip, it's
No
good.
way.
He gets the health back. Double kill for Kralik.
It was too long of a trek for Sek. He couldn't make it happen because Puppey was not enough to get a kill on the word Singe. Warlock didn't have mana. Had he done it, Shock Blast would have been enough to get the Singe kill. But it didn't happen. So close, but Revive still comes out ahead.
Oh boy, and that was real messy on the top side, but Kralik will reign supreme. Sometimes you got to pay attention to that pesky troll. His damage is going to mount up over time in a trade like that. 3, 1, and 2 has gone for the very aggressive build with the Tiamat and the skirmish to Saber. This guy is going to hit like a truck now in any skirmish that we see from here on out.
The benefit of being a Trundle is if you ever find yourself in a lead, getting Tiamat means that you can just rush through your camp. Going to Raptors, it's gone already. You can go from camp to camp and get to the next position, which is like neutral camps, like Scuttle Crab, a little bit more faster than Sek. So Sek, he's already behind in CS in the jungle. It's going to get worse from here on out. So I love the fact that he's got that. You mentioned the damage is there, you're right. So right now, Kralik, Raven, massive spikes for them just because they're going to utilize the damage that Trundle has and the Luden's Echo that Raven has. So 2v2 mid lane should be way in favor of Singapore.
I mean, perfect timing, perfect place at the end of the day. The fact that you managed to also lock down Warlock in the top lane, you get kills onto your jungle, kills onto the mid lane, you also lock down the jungle. Like, everything that was going well a couple minutes ago is saying, I like Thailand's chances because they have a Jace who is ahead, a Jace who can rotate. In the mid lane, you can see continuous plays. Punch down onto this Karma, keep her suppressed, make sure she can't do anything in the mid lane. In Singapore, they have this on lockdown. Kralik's doing the same. Flash forward onto Sek. Where's the hook shot? He has the ultimatum, but none of the summoners. 1 more second. Here comes What the Jets with the clutch shield. Knock up is going to come through right there, and Kralik will be the flash for nothing.
You have a lot of Singapore members in the bottom side of the map. Wonder what they're going to utilize with the damage that they're able to put down on Puppey and Sek at the same time. It would be a waste to not look for a tower.
Here's Raven, finds the Drowsy, puts Varus to sleep, and Crack, and he getting range in time. Well, Kralik is here, and he chomps down. That's going to be Raven with the kill credit on Cold and Feet.
Yeah, there we go. I mean, Cold and Feet and What the Jest were sitting underneath that tower for no reason. You know that 2 members are heading back to base. Why are you sitting there? So that means that not only is Singapore going to get the tower eventually, but they got the kill for the
Uh-oh, not the bees. He's
No
going to be
way.
locked into place underneath the tower. Revive. Can he get this 1v1 kill? Warlock has to run this one away. The Ares
Get him.
procs and Revive. He wants him, but that Shock Blast landing. Both parties are scared, but Revive has the Insanity Potion running. He will win this one in a prolonged trade.
That means Warlock has to get the hell out of there. Because the pressure that he was levying topside means absolutely nothing. While Singapore gets advantages on the opposite side of the map. This is looking real rough for Thailand.
Warlock's still here. He's evening up the trades in the top lane. He's just playing sniper right here. But the fact that the 60 farm, now 70 farm Singe is able to even challenge Warlock in the top lane is scary times for the Thailand squad.
Yeah, you know what? Warlock got away because there were no wards top lane. Had Revive recognized that Warlock had no mana after that Shock Blast, he would have stayed there. Hell, come over me. What are you trying to do? But no, he didn't see Warlock's mana bar, so he's like, alright, I don't know what to expect. Maybe he gets the cooldown again and throws another Shock Blast and I'm dead. I'm out of here. So it was safe from him, but ultimately Warlock was able to at least get some pressure out of the situation.
All right, I want to pay a bit of attention to the bottom lane because I feel like we haven't even looked at them for the first 60 minutes of the game because everything has been happening on the top side of the map. But if you're looking at Ezreal, he's got the Sheen, he's got the makings of his Triforce coming forward, plus the Mura mana, or rather the Mana Moon. And then on the opposite side, you've got yourself the Quincy who's Rage Blade as well on the Varus. So they're still scaling up. Ezreal's slightly ahead, but it's really negligible as we get to this point in the game.
The only thing to make note of here is that Golden Feet on the Varus pick, we haven't seen a lot of Varus. It's kind of lost a lot of the flair of the champion, just because there's so much sustain in the lane. Double TP means that the lane pressure that Varus usually has in these lane matchups doesn't mean too much, so we haven't just seen it. And also Winsu's into AP is a viable build for a lot of Varus picks, but it's still split. It's not like Kai'Sa where a lot of people are just going AP because she has a lot of AP skilling. For Varus, you can do either, it's just a larger cost of the AP build. So you can go that. And if you're Thailand, maybe you play around the Varus because of the engage potential that he has as his ulti. That's the only thing that I really want to point out is that you can play through bottom lane if you're Thailand because that's your really only engage on the team.
But right now, you're kind of scrambling for places to play around, because before you were looking at top lane, it's just like, heck yeah, Jace is triple the farm, if not quadra the farm of Revive right now. This is going to be a winning lane for the rest of the game. That has fizzled out. Jungle doing pretty well, even after a bad start out from Kralix. You know, Sek is able to bring it back. Now no longer. Mid lane never was going to be a thing. Bot lane, you're absolutely right, is going to be the place that Thailand are looking to play towards now. Singapore have been trying to challenge this Rift Herald for the last maybe 30 to 45 seconds as Shelly looks to reset once again. Though Thailand look like they're going to back away from this one. They are actually moving towards Sailor.
Yeah.
And he has also found Warlock, so Warlock's going to put him down.
Yep, I mean, that's just the product of the fact that Singapore were trying so heavily to get towards the Rift Herald, and they were using Krat to do that. So, of course not with his AD carry. AD carry is going to fall if Camille looks for him. Camille didn't even have to blow flash for the entire engage.
All right, well, it's two thieves on the run right now as Sek comes out with the ultimatum, flash backwards to try and open up some distance, and Kralix is actually tearing Sek a new one, but here comes Warlock. He gets the first kill, Revive into the fray as well, but Sek gets flipped. The damage out for the bees is big, but here comes Crown from the bottom lane, giving Revive a couple more seconds, and never chased the Singe, but in this case, it might actually work out because Revive isn't that fast right now. Here comes a recall out from Trundle. Nice side set from Revive in the end there. That will just be one kill onto Raven.
Yeah, one blinking HP bar on Sek. Sek looked for the kill, and they got one on Raven. So they're in a really good position where they're trying to get these picks to get themselves in the lead, and they're utilizing the kills that Warlock has. So Sek and Warlock right now are the major carries from the side of Thailand.
Oh. Crouching tower, hidden minion in the bottom lane. We'll just take that one down. That's an 18-minute inner tower for some reason in the bottom side of the map because it looked like no one was there to deal with it since everybody was dealing with that top side shenanigans. So Singapore, in a weird way, may have actually just won out from all of that, taking down 3 towers right now. Sek, flash forward, Sailor on fire. Picks up another kill.
That's confidence right there. Sailor knew that it didn't matter if he flashed right in there and combined his auto attack and Q. That's kill potential. So they're going to be going for Rift Herald. With no jungle inside of Thailand, they might just concede this.
Really nice stuff from Sailor. Actually showing the T pretty good those skill shots that we've seen so far in this game. Excited to see what he'll bring for the rest of this game. That's going to be Rift Herald falling to Kralix. And right now, it seems like Singapore have a lot of momentum behind them. I mean, top lane almost certainly going to fall right here to Raven and Kralix. That's going to be 4 towers to 1. We're sub 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're right about the fact that the momentum is on their side. The only real mess up was just on Sailor taking mid lane wave with Lulu taking, or at least with the team earlier on, which caused him to get picked. So that was one problem. But their lane assignments from that point have gotten so much better. So Raven has just been the top side of the map because he knows that he does incredibly well in the matchup versus Puppey. It shouldn't be the case, but Puppey's incredibly far behind, and the only damage, or at least the only item is have. It's not damage. It's the Banner of Command. So right now, utilizing the fact that the matchups are in their favor, Singapore coming out ahead of it.
And it feels really unfortunate for Thailand because you're looking towards Jace. It's like, yes, we have a Jace early game who's ahead. We can transition to this mid game. Let's skirmish. Let's look for these fights. And then you look towards the other side and you have a massive BC Trundle. You have a massive Zoe. And honestly, a Syndra at this point when he's grouping up with Lulu, who's not going to die. So you go to those skirmishes and like, well, we lose anyway. So it seems like a catch-22 right here, where it's like even the strengths from Thailand are being completely subsided by what we're seeing out from Singapore.
Yeah, and I think the damage has been picked up in their items. The damage spikes are super in their favor, specifically from Zoe. At this point in time, Raven's a beast. The two items he has, Rubin's Echo, and of course Lichbane, incredibly impactful if he ever gets to pick off the shoulder speed. So just really watch out for him. You don't want to get picked up by him.
Well, this has to be it right here because Revive is dead, but please kill that man. There we go. Ultimatum comes out, but Sek may have just committed Sudoku. What are you doing, man? He goes in and instantly dies. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Warlock looking for another kill, but Singapore just want to back away. They've already got everything that they want. What the Jess? What are you doing? Sailor finds one. He's on the front lines and he will be eliminated. 2 more kills coming in for Warlock. He looks to chase down Raven, but he's kiting back. Puppey, does he have the damage that he needs? Kra is the one who is body blocking right now for Raven. There's going to be another shock blast coming through, but Puppey, he doesn't have the damage, and Warlock has abandoned his friends. He doesn't have the mana nor the health to carry on chasing.
Oh my god, Warlock right now is trying to be the major carry for his team. 5-2-2. His Q, I mean, in hammer form, is the reason they were able to get it going when they got the kill onto Sayla. So eyes on him, because the fact that he was able to get these kills and Raven was super ineffective in that fight is the reason why Thailand is doing well for themselves. They were so close to getting the kill onto Raven, so Raven has to watch out in his positioning, because this earlier part of the fight was between him and Sayla, excellent. But from that point forward, Sayla got locked down, and Raven was targeted immediately afterwards when he didn't have the proper positioning.
I've got to be honest, Raz, I'm paging through the dictionary right now and looking at the definition of well, and I don't know if Talon's name is underneath that one, because yes, they managed to win the fight, but they just lost an inner inhibitor tower and an inner turret in the mid lane off of one Herald push at 20 minutes. So I don't know if you can necessarily say that we're 100% well for Thailand.
That's a fair assessment. Like right now, in the long haul of things, inhibitor being exposed, that's a great thing for Singapore. But it just comes down to these scrappy fights that Thailand is known for. A lot of the teams coming out of the region, specifically Warlock, coming out, the Thailand, Bangkok Titans, time and time again. Like, that was the identity of the team, and right now it seems like he's sporting that with the advantage that he has for himself. So you still have to watch out for that. Even though Raven and Sayla is doing really well, they're also the squishiest members on the team, so they can get picked out. So you're right. Currently, good lead for Singapore, but it's very fragile.
Yeah, it's dark omens, right? The fact that like a fight can be won by Thailand in that fashion. Of course, you can argue the fact that Singapore were on the retreat. They weren't really looking for the fight necessarily. That being said, they are back towards the mid lane. They see this open inhibitor, and many sane teams would just look for a push and set up in the side lane and set up those waves. Not Singapore. They're going to push right down the mid lane and look for this inhibitor right here. Knock up onto Raven, a little bit scary, but Warlock does not manage to find the mark on that shock blast. Singapore take it down to half, but look to back away now, opening up a lot of pressure on the map, and actually look to sweep around the Baron area.
This would be really smart. In fact, they could look for a rush, but remember, if you look at the minimap, quite a few wards there, one that they cannot see, so get a control ward out in the open. If you're on red side, you never want to put a control ward in the pick. You actually want to use your tracking knife. They can kind of get that going for themselves. Wait a second.
Shock blast lands, and that's going to be a knock away right there. Great Monsoon in from what the Jess right there. But Sek, he's just a lone wolf. He's right there by himself, but he still finds the kill onto Raven, and somehow he's out. Warlock, he's way too deep. He did not read that call from Sek. He wanted in and out, but it's a 1-for-1 trade.
It's confusion. That's what it is. Confusion on the side of Singapore. Protect your leaders, Raven and Sayla. There's no reason for them to be the ones in the front line. So even though Raven was trying to look for a flank off his Q, he's the one that immediately gets picked off by Sek, and that's the result of it. Second Warlock, eyes on the target, and they get their prize.
A 1-for-1 trade right there, and really got to see what that Thailand can do with it right now, because they are looking towards the mid lane. This outer mid lane turret is still up, and they're actually going to burn a teleport for this one, Singapore. It's going to be Sailor who's teleporting towards this mid lane to maintain that pressure around mid lane, and also have mid lane tower not die. So it's going to be good stuff in terms of damage control from them.
It's a pretty hefty wave as well. So cannon wave that you can put on towards Sailor, so you can get to his next item. Once he's fully stacked up his Seraph, that's solid. He can deal a lot of damage. We already saw how much damage he was dealing earlier on onto Puppy and Golden Feet. Sek is really the only member on the team that can look for engages, and he is a bruiser. So you can see from his previous fight, every single time he goes in, he's either on just single-digit HP or he gets blown up immediately. So that's why it's incredibly important to see how much damage the main carries on Singapore are dealing, because Sek is going to be taking the most of it. And if he can't handle it, then there's no way for Thailand to look for these fights.
Yeah, though Sek is very fast on the trigger, for better or for worse. We've seen him find a target, and if they're in range of a hookshot ultimatum, you bet your hat he's going to go in. He is 100% going to jump in there. And Warlock, to his credit, has also jumped in on top of that, but if they can just align on when they are going in and also when they are going out, then that is exactly what Thailand needs, because they still have the potential to take down the key targets. It's just whether they can all get out alive afterwards.
Yeah, it's all on towards the Camille to do it. I mean, look at the positioning that Sek has. He's not going to wait a second, could.
Hello. Baron's been started off by the Singaporean squad right here. Bot lane, Warlock and Revive both have teleport. They're going to see Sek right now, but as long as they can chunk him out, he'll be in no condition to try and find a steal.
Sek revealed himself a little bit too early. Maybe he didn't know how quickly they can deal damage on towards the Baron buff. They wanted to wait for Warlock to have enough time to get into proper position for TP. Now, perhaps the call changed to just try and keep Warlock in the lane and get the tower. That's possible. That being said, a fight happening.
Flying teleport coming in, but it's instantly responded by Warlock. Great timing on that one. Perfect Monsoon once again by What's Jazz and the disengage. Revive still looking for the flick there, and it's onto Puppy in the mid lane. He'll flash away. Here comes Second to the back line, and once again assassinates his mark. A 1-for-1 trade, but Thailand going to be happy with that one.
Wait a second!
Whoa! See you later, Raven. Get out of here. That one's a home run.
Raven and Sayla down. Sek is the only one that fell through. I wonder what Thailand's going to be able to go for that. Look at the wave that's coming through mid. They can take the wave and take mid lane tower. That would be the second tower that they would have taken this game for themselves.
They should be able to get it here because Kra does not want to step up to the plate with the rest of his team down for the count. Thailand are going to be pushing into this mid lane right here, and the minions are buffed up. You have this buffed up melee minion. That's going to be 2 towers in a row right here for Thailand, and suddenly we're looking at a very different game.
And I always mention it. The scrappy nature of Thailand is the one that's really getting them these wins. Teamfight win after teamfight win, just based off the skill of Warlock, but also just the confidence of Sek. To trade his life for a kill. A life for a life, but you know what? Raven's life is a lot more valuable. So knowing that the primary carries, if you can get the kills, you can get so much off of it. 2 towers, Baron pressure, all of because Sek looked for that engage and a proper shock blast coming in from Warlock.
And I really just got to give a lot of credit to What the Jazz. Haven't seen a lot of him in this game, but every single time I have, he's done something magnificent for the team of Thailand. Slammed the perfect Monsoon, a disengage, like having to be the sole member essentially who is stopping a Sin from getting on top of your team. Not an easy task, but he hits the Tornado every time, he hits the Monsoon every time, and he's done so much for the squad that he basically stops the Sin for so long that allows Sek an opportunity to get an assassinate onto Raven or Sailor.
Yeah, and you know what? Sek is actually looking for another skirmish here. He's got the flank available. Raven and Sailor are the only ones you have to look at here. Very salty comes through.
That's big, forcing everybody away. Revive's almost already dead. Has to burn the Lulu ultimate on this one, and Sek, he's looking for this assassinate. He sees it. There's the ultimatum, and no one expected the stopwatch. Sek is going to be blasted, though, by Sailor, and now it's all turning around. Kralex looking for the chase once again. Warlock carving through with these shock blasts, but it's going to be one more kill this time to Singapore.
I would say really unlucky timing just because the wave comes through immediately. Warlock can't follow through the shock blast. Raven gets the kill on What the Jazz. So that's really interesting. That means now the support and the jungler are down. If you are Singapore, you look for the Baron here. Okay. Get that man. All right, you've got to pop that stopwatch, but he's still being chased down. Sailor, he's got him in his sights, but at the same time, look at Kralex. He's going to trade his life. That's going to be another Sleepy Trouble bubble. Can Raven stop landing these? Apparently not. Warlock, 1 versus 1, tries to find the trade. That's a double kill from Sailor. They're pinging the Baron, so even though Sailor and Kra are at a very low HP, Revive can tank this.
Yes, he can, Raz. That's some good analysis right there. Revive could 100% tank this one. And this is going to go over to Singapore. And I honestly cannot call this game. It seems like 1 minute, Singapore get a good pick. I thought Hezbollah died right there because the arcade shipped out of the way. But it's just flipping back and forth constantly.
But yeah, it really is just as simple as that. So of course the Baron being picked up just because not doing that much damage to themselves if you have Singe to tank it. But mostly on the fact that Thailand, a lot of their plays are coming off the fact that they can wait on Warlock to get the kill for themselves or Sec to find proper engage points. I like the fact that he utilizes stopwatch to buy time for the rest of the team to come through. The reason why the minion wave was important is because the damage couldn't follow through, right? Just coming in from Jake. So that was the key point where it feels like the damage is going to follow through immediately, going to burn down. And Raven's going to chase it down because Sleepy Trouble double after Sleepy Trouble double. So that's fun to see coming out of the composition from Singapore.
And plus the fact that the two stopwatches are down this time, and I would say that from both those stopwatches, I saw a ton of value. So it's like, well, unless they upgrade now to Zhonya's Hourglass, you're not going to be seeing that type of play once again. You can see Sek actually just turned his into a Guardian Angel. So he kind of has that play, but not in the same way. He's able to instantly get back into the action. And Singapore are obviously just going to be way more confident about looking for these plays. They run it down mid lane, they take away the inhibitor, and their current posture looks like they're going for more.
If they can get one pick off with Sleepy Trouble, then they can look for the win. It's going to be a tough one. They're just basing it off the fact that this Baron Banner minion is going to be doing the majority of the work.
Yeah, this is playing bodyguard right now for this guy. We've got to name him because this guy's doing absolute work. Okay, it looks like Singapore now backing away. Golden Feet did miss his chains as well, looking for that engage there, but Singapore pretty much got what they wanted. They were seeing if they can get anything more from that Sec. Has been slowed down. It doesn't look like Kralix is going to go all in on this one. Top lane seems like potential for them to go towards, but in reality, it seems like Singapore looking towards this bottom lane to push this one in. Yeah,
they could just reset for these waves. Super Minion coming in through mid lane means that, yeah, just 5-man towards bottom lane. There's nothing you can respond with if you're Talon. You have to respond with the bottom side of the map since there's nothing top side. So big question is how they're going to be able to handle that. There's a lot of poke on the side of Sayla, so Sayla and Raven. So at this point in time, Talon just has to force the fight. You have Guardian Angel on second, maybe that's how you do it.
I'm taking a look at Kralix, who is zoning away the flank here from Sek. That's the only real worry here for Singapore. And there's a lot of damage out from Raven. Crushes that tower. He's going to take out the ward as well on top of that. Takes a shock blast, but isn't going to be real phased by that one. And this inhibitor will fall. That's 2 inhibitors down now from Singapore. And it's barely a whimper coming out from Thailand. Where are they going to draw the line? That is the question. Currently, no line has been drawn.
Yeah, the ping to the top side. So they recognize that the next play is going to be on the top side of the map, knowing that the inhibitor is going to do the job for them. So right now, Singapore, job's easy for you. You got Baron coming up very soon, and you can play towards top lane, get the inhibitor, or the inner tower, look for inhibitor, and then move back to Baron. The play is very clear for them, so it's going to be easier for Thailand to kind of strategize and how to counteract that. It's all going to be on Sek to find a proper pick on towards Raven, but Raven in the last few plays have actually played super safely behind Trundle, so I don't see how that's going to happen.
I'm not the betting man, but I would say that Sek has come out with so many clutch plays this game that I would not put it past him that he would look for potential steal, and maybe he would even get it. So I would say that Singapore has to look for some real crisp setup here on this Baron, and do not let Sek even an inch to try and look for these steals.
Yeah, you know what? Camille does have good burst. I mean, sure, if you're looking to Kralix, you can say Chomp and Smite's the way to go here. But if Sek can get a Q onto just anybody, to follow up through damage is all you really need. So I think it's really safe from Singapore to just say, screw it, go towards the towers themselves. You don't have to play towards Baron. Sure, it's not up, but you don't have to really get any more vision control off of that. Jace is not there, so you actually can just go straight for this inhibitor tower.
That's exactly what they're doing. Sek still sitting on the sidelines. Puppy barely seen him this game. Golden Feet will just get himself chunked by half from Sailor right there. Minion Wave's about to disintegrate, and now it's going to be a third inhibitor down. It doesn't look like Thailand are going to try and contest this one at all. It's already down. The core is not coming by Sek, nor the rest of the team. That's triple inhibs, even a great shock blast from Warlock. But, I mean, as a setup for Baron, now this is the safest setup you could possibly have.
Yeah, definitely is. I mean, Sek was willing to go for the flank.
He was.
Just the fact that Golden Feet and Puppy were really low because of the poke. So that's the way the composition plays itself out. Sayla and Raven are flankable, but if they get proper poke off the Golden Feet, just any member of the enemy team, especially with how squishy the members are there, so it really will just last, then there's no way Sek will find himself going in. It's just going to be suicide if he does.
Yeah, it's rough. It's real rough right now. And it seems like some of the win has been taken out of Thailand's sails, trying to find those engagers, looking for the initiates. And to be fair, you understand that, a lot of the early game advantage was on someone like Warlock, who you want to be getting in those skirmishes. You want to get that poke damage down, but as soon as Jace falls behind and he's your major damage threat for most of the game, you can understand why it's much harder for them to find a fight. And Cordon Feet, we've never really seen him turn online this game, apart from that one fight we saw in the mid lane. But apart from that, Singapore has won absolutely everything. And right now, even without this Baron, but they're looking to take down the first Nexus turret, and they're pushing even further. Sek is behind them, but if we don't see anything right now from Thailand, they're about to lose the game. Here comes Sek jumping over the wall, and he's out of there, but he's also just got no health. Cordon Feet died while all that was happening. A snipe coming in from Raven, a 4 versus 5, and here comes a Revive at max speed, flashes after. What the Jets gets thrown into the team, but Singapore, they're focused on the Nexus, but not before padding out their own kill scores. Now they'll finally finish it off the minions once this one's end. 35 minutes on the clock, and Singapore will take this one away.